pulled from the finger and hung up here. What's the significance? Son of a bitch wants her identified. Mrs. Antonia Maldonado, 712 North Hill Street, downtown. Can you drive to this one?
It was Mrs. Maldonado, right?
That's affirmative.
All right, so then there's a husband.
Wait just a moment. I'm sorry. Can I help you?
LAPD, ma'am. Detective Phelps and Galloway. Does Mrs. Maldonado live here?
Yes, she does. I'm Mrs. Barbara LaPente, the owner of this boarding house. Is there a problem?
I'm afraid so, ma'am. Do you mind if we come in? Is there somewhere we can discuss this?
Of course. Follow me through to the parlor. Wipe your feet as you come in, detectives. It's this way.
Mrs. Maldonado was found dead this morning.
Dead? Oh, no. She can't be.
I'm afraid she was murdered, ma'am. We need to take a look at her things.
I can't believe it. A person seems so alive, and then they're gone. Antonia's room is upstairs, last door on the left.
Thank you. We'll be back shortly.
Excuse us a moment, ma'am. What are we waiting for?
A smashed window explains why the place looks tossed.
You know how I feel about windows, Phelps.
So someone broke in using this thing instead of a crowbar. Wonder where it was taken from. Okay, we have an address. The charm bracelet wasn't among the crime scene evidence. We have some questions, ma'am, if you're up to it.
Yes, Detective. I'll do my best.
Do you have any idea who might have wanted to hurt Mrs. Maldonado?
That rat of her husband, Angel. She was serving him divorce papers.
If I killed every wife to serve me papers, I'd be a mass murderer.
Are you being flippant, young man?
No, ma'am.
What can you tell us about Angel Maldonado?
She married him when she was 17. He was cruel to her, very cruel. She was a good girl, little on the religious side, but a good girl.
What time did Antonia go out yesterday?
She left around 9.
Do you know where she went?
No, I've no idea. She was a good girl, but she didn't confide in me.
Come on, Mrs. Lepenti, you must have some idea.
Maybe a movie? Maybe church. She was a very religious girl.
You've had a break-in?
No, that can't be true.
You're being economical with the truth, Mrs. Lepenti. What do you have to hide?
I have no idea what you are talking about.
So Antonia lost her keys and used an iron bar to jimmy the back window?
I heard a noise in the early hours of the morning. I thought it might be a raccoon at the milk bottles. It'd be very bad for business if this news got out. I have a reputation to protect.
Antonia and her husband were estranged?
Yes. She moved here after she separated from her husband 2 months ago.
But Antonia still wore a wedding ring?
She wore the wedding ring and a necklace. She always wore a religious necklace. That's about all of her jewelry.
What about her bracelet?
I don't know anything about a bracelet.
In her wedding photo, she's displaying a charm bracelet.
That thing? She never wore it. He gave it to her. She always kept it in that wooden jewelry box.
Thanks, ma'am. You've been very helpful.
Pay a call to that husband of hers. Lock him up and throw away the key.
I've said it right from the start. We should come down hard on the husband. Let's check his place out.
You know the way. You can drive.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Maldonado is in apartment 304.
Phelps, this could turn ugly. Forget about knocking. Let's take our boy by surprise.
Hey, what the fuck?
LAPD, motherfucker, you're under arrest. I got 100 pounds in your wife, pal. Taking a beat.
Now look. I got nothing to say to you.
Damn, they got some decent shots in there. Cuff these sons of bitches, Phelps.
LAPD, you two are under arrest. Call for some backup, Finbar.
Galloway, badge number 564. I need a prowl car at the apartment building 330 North Hill Street. 2 suspects need transporting to Central.
Your wife has been murdered, Angel.
Antonia? Oh, God, no.
Where were you last night, Angel?
I was here with my brother the whole night, goddammit. You think I'd kill my own wife?
We should get the whole place going over, then talk to the neighbors. And Phelps, I don't care that you just got smacked in the head. You don't call me Finbar.
Just picked fruit market. I wonder if Angel gets all his groceries from this place. This will take some explaining.
Maybe one of the neighbors took notice of Angel's movements. He's got no alibi. He's toast.
What do you want?
LAPD, we're making some inquiries.
Make it quick. I work nights.
So you weren't home last night?
No, I was at work.
You know nothing about Mrs. Maldonado fighting with her husband?
Those two? They're always screaming the place down.
Thanks.
No good. There's nobody here.
Hey, sorry about that. I'm playing with my kids.
LAPD, were you here last night?
Yeah. My wife and I are separated, and I had the kids last night. I put them to bed early and went to bed myself.
Thanks.
Hello.
LAPD, ma'am. Did you hear a disturbance last night?
Yes. Yes, I did. Mrs. Maldonado lit out of here, and her husband ran out after her.
You saw this, Miss?
Aranda. I had the door open a crack.
Did you see Mr. Maldonado come back inside after he ran out?
No. I didn't.
Thanks. We'll be in touch. You're behind the wheel.
And where exactly are we going? This is the place.
Can you drive to this one?
Fine. Where are we headed?
Car 11K, car 11K, come in. Car 11K, car 11K, come in.
KGPL, 11 King, over.
11K, Captain Donnelly and Detective Sergeant Finnis Brown urgently request your presence at Central. A new letter has been found.
11K, en route.
The captain is waiting for you downstairs with Pinker.
I want to make homicide. I mean, you know you've made it if you got that desk.
I need a drink.
Boys, come on in. Phelps, have you met Finnis Brown?
Pleased to meet you, sir.
This information is confidential and doesn't leave this room.
The new letter was left in the back seat of a cab. The driver thinks it was put through the window and not left by a customer.
We're checking all this fares back 24 hours regardless.
Good.
Like the previous letters, it's been assembled from headlines and typed from the Times and Examiner, then glued to an envelope.
What is the other note?
This one? That's also new. A poem, hand-typed.
Do you mind if I take a look?
Go ahead. We've been over both documents pretty carefully. They've been wiped with gasoline, so there's no chance of prints.
That's the message from the Celine Henry case. Heap upon thy soul by virtue of this curse.